On this week's episode, we will be sharing an interview with Framework Computer. Framework makes the most outstanding, repairable, and upgradable laptops to date. And we had the chance to get our hands on one at the Southern California Linux Expo, SCaLE 21X, last month. And let me tell you that it doesn't disappoint. And on this episode, we're going to share our discussion with Framework and more. Welcome to episode number 368 of Destination Linux, your favorite video podcast. My name is Jill.
I'm Ryan, and I don't mean to correct you, Jill, but it's FrameWorks. So if you want to,
it works.
That's what I call it anyway.
And I'm Michael, and I agree. It's FrameWorks.
Yeah, no matter what they actually call themselves, it's Framework.
Framework Computer.
All right, fine.
But they work, so it's FrameWorks.
Yeah. Yes.
Whatever.
Now, let's get the show on the road toward Destination Linux.
Our community feedback this week comes from Max. Max has this to say: just bought myself a pair of Crocs for my birthday. Wow, Max. I got a caterpillar and butterfly gibbets to represent the growth mentality, which is one of my biggest values.
Growth mentality.
Oh my gosh, this is like an interview. You know, when you ask somebody a question, they're like, oh, I got great. Look at the gibbets on my Crocs. It shows I have great growth mentality here. That's awesome, Max.
Nice.
He said, are you guys tracking the sports mode versus comfort mode functionality of Crocs? Of course we're not, because Crocs are ridiculous. When you have the back strap on, that's called sports mode. Crocs are honestly pretty Linux when you think about it. How dare you? From a customizability and modularity point of view, eager to hear your thoughts. All right, so here are my thoughts, Max. When I take a look at my Crocs and I look at this thing, I don't think sports mode, right? I think this is a ridiculous looking shoe that, because of all of you guys' antics and writing into the show, my wife bought me a pair of Crocs because she's heard about all of this Croc stuff. And so now, unfortunately,
Star Wars Crocs, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately,
awesome.
I have a pair of these plastic pieces of junk that are extremely comfortable, man. I really enjoy wearing these stupid shoes. Like, they're really nice. Yeah, I like them. And I put them in sports mode and was able to go up the stairs without them slipping off my feet. So I don't know. I think Max is onto something here.
Have you been converted into a Croc fan?
I'm kind of liking them. Like, I've been wearing them this whole time. And there's just something about them that they're so comfy, you know?
Oh my goodness. You're making me want to go get my knockoff Crocs to join this.
That's ridiculous. If you're going to wear Crocs, you got to sport the real Crocs, Michael. Like,
yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
Now, okay, you went from I hate Crocs, they're the worst thing, they ruined humanity, to if you don't have real Crocs, you're not a real.
You're not a real. The problem is that my wife bought these and they're Star Wars, which is cool, but she totally, like, I see why you bought your own for your own birthday, which I wish I would have bought my own, because there's no holes for gibbets here.
Yeah.
And now I can't show my growth mentality with butterflies and caterpillars like Max can here. So, like,
oh my goodness.
There's no gibbets, you know?
Aww.
So that stinks.
Well, I have something to show. These are my generic Crocs from Temu. And mine are priced better than yours, so they're better.
Oh, okay.
No.
Also,
Temu, huh?
Looks like there's like some foam and some like fuzziness in there too.
Yeah, these have fuzzy on them. And in fact, Ryan, I have one positioned right there on the corner behind my unicorn, and with a little penguin on top. One of my little plush penguins.
I would usually be upset about that, Jill.
Yeah,
but
so
Crocs
that's the best part.
So.
So at the end of last week's episode, we actually made a joke about putting that in the background. I forgot entirely that we did that. And it was to mess with you of having the Crocs. And then you come out with Crocs and liking them. We are in Twilight Zone. What is happening right now?
They're fantastic shoes, and I don't know why anybody makes fun of them. Everybody
these are really comfortable because they have the fuzzy liner.
I am so confused.
And,
I am so confused.
Truth be told, I do have a real pair of Crocs with fuzzy liners as well.
You haven't told us about this the whole time, Jill. You've been.
I know.
Jill knew eventually I would come around to loving Crocs. So she just stayed silent until I got a pair. And then she was like, he'll like them. He'll like them.
But one of the main reasons I started wearing them, and this has actually honestly been years ago, and truth be told, I did wear them at one SCaLE like 10 years ago, is because I have a Tux gibbets for my Crocs. The little charms that you put in the hole.
I mean, it doesn't show growth mentality, but they're still cool.
But it shows my...
It has the modularity of Linux, though.
It has the modularity of Linux.
Mac is kind of right with that, though. When you think about Linux, and one of its key advantages is the modularity and upgradability, and you can do that with Crocs. You can't do that with a crappy pair of Nikes. You can't do that with your boring old Adidas. You can only do that with Crocs. So,
it's pretty Linux,
Very Linux. Yep.
It's very interesting that you have now completely converted into a Croc fan.
Yeah.
So I don't really care either way, but now I feel like I have to be the naysayer of the Croc though. So we have like this nice balance of the thing.
Right.
And also we're going to be in Denver for the Red Hat Summit. And it just so happens that the Crocs factory is in, not in Denver, but very close to Denver. So maybe we could tour it. And now you will go as the fan. And I will go as the detractor or the skeptic. I'll be the skeptic, really. And we'll see. And let's see, like maybe we could get a tour going. I don't know if they even do that or not. But now it's even more intriguing because you have become a fan, which is...
Now the question is, did I sell out and Crocs sponsoring me to say this? Or do I really love Crocs? Like, we don't know. You have to wait and see if I do an ad read.
You sold out for Star Wars branded Crocs, and also you didn't sell out because you technically didn't pay for them, really, but you kind of did, right? So like, you didn't really sell out at all. You actually, but it was a gift by your wife, so in that sense, it's like you're still effectively your family has paid for these things. So it's the opposite of selling out. It's like you actually have given in to the evil system of Crocs, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying I'm going to go around wearing them all the time.
And in fact, it's even perfect that you have the Star Wars because it looks like you have the dark side of the Crocs.
It is the dark side one.
So you you have actually joined the Empire, and that is interesting. Therefore,
or the Resistance, depending on what time period.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't have. He's not a part of the Resistance. He's in the Empire. Maybe he's in he might be in what's the new one that's really stupid?
Rebel Moon or something? I don't know.
It's like one something. The First Order.
The First Order, yeah.
Star Wars has gone pretty down.
So lame.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
The sports mode
we should do exactly the same as we did the first time. That'll be new.
Instead of calling it Empire, we'll call it First Order.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
But the whole sports mode thing he mentioned, though. So I actually did know about this from my kids, the sports mode thing, and it kind of cracks me up because there's nothing sporty about Crocs. And it reminds me of the fact that I drive a Honda HR-V, and this is a 4-cylinder, very reliable, very slow car. And it comes with, though, paddle shifters and a sports mode, which to me is about the most ridiculous thing.
Like an F1 car?
Yeah, like an F1 car. It's got paddle shifters in this thing that could barely get over 70. And, it's to me, the Crocs mode is the equivalent to the sports mode on my Honda HR-V. It accomplishes absolutely nothing. But you can pretend that
but you can play with some paddles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, manually shift.
The paddles are your car's gibbets, right?
Oh. So, Max, I want to tell you, and something that's really funny is I actually first heard the term sports mode from Ryan telling me what his kids say when they pull on the Crocs backstrap.
See, all the truth's coming
out. So I didn't know.
It turns out that is super popular. Sports mode is super.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought it was like a little kid joke thing too, but apparently that is what they call it.
It's big, yeah.
There you go.
I want to talk to people. Actually, you know what? I am now wanting to go to the tour for the Crocs people and I would interview them so we could actually figure out how did you trick the world to like these things?
Right?
Oh.
What?
Maybe they could be one of our sponsors and make ones with penguins on them.
But that's a good idea. But also that would make sure that Ryan sold out.
Yeah. Then that's all we wear.
And also that would make me selling out too. And I would absolutely do that for the right amount of money. So Crocs.
There you go. So Max, congratulations. Happy birthday, first of all. Congratulations on your pair of Crocs that you have here. They're very fun and comfortable
and congratulations for changing Ryan's mind on the whole Crocs topic.
Yeah.
If you want to change my mind,
Max.
you can send in your questions by going to destinationlinux.net/comments or send in your comments or your stories. And who knows, maybe you'll change Michael's mind about Crocs. You changed mine.
I mean, at this point, anything's possible. Exactly. So who knows? Let us know if you think I should get real Crocs because I don't have the real stuff and maybe I don't really know what it's like. Send us a comment.
So my wife actually was going to buy you Crocs too, Michael, as part of the gag, and could not find a size that fit your gigantic, freakish foot. Yeah, so
not surprised by that at all. Yeah.
Aww.
Even Crocs struggles to make plastic big enough for your foot.
I mean, that's what happens. I'm not. That's the reason I got these knockoffs because they actually had my size. Like, oh, okay, cool. So, luckily, I didn't get trolled by your wife
yet.
This episode of Destination Linux is sponsored by LINBIT. LINBIT has been keeping digital businesses running for over 20 years. They're the makers of open source products like DRBD, which is high availability software that has been part of the Linux kernel since 2010, and LINSTORE, industry-leading open source software-defined storage. LINBIT has an active presence in the open source community, and they collaborate with the community to help identify and build new features. LINBIT provides enterprise-grade software that runs on a variety of platforms and OSs without vendor lock-in. What that means is that you could use the software on any platform, including specific hardware that you want to use, or just off-the-shelf hardware that you get and connect it. All of this stuff can be interchanged really easily. And with DRBD and LINSTORE, you can have high-speed, replicated block storage in almost any configuration, whether it's Kubernetes, Apache Cloud, or OpenNebula. There's even DRBD proxy for long-distance replication. LINBIT is run by its founders to this day, and all of its engineers and developers are in-house with offices in Europe and North America, which allows them to have global 24/7 support to complement their enterprise offerings. Visit linbit.com to learn more about the people behind LINBIT and the awesome software for block storage, duplication, and more.
So I am here today with the amazing Matt Hartley. I have been wanting to meet him in IRL since I've known you for years on Linux Action Show, and you did your own podcasts and own streams, and I was part of that community. And now he joyously gets to work at Framework laptops, and I'm jealous.
I get that a lot. A lot of folks are very excited, but I'm excited to be at Framework. We've been doing a lot of good work.
Yeah. Well, this is the 16-inch, and I haven't seen it in person yet. So no one has.
For you at home watching this, they get to actually play with it when we're done filming here.
Yay! And so can you tell us about the response you've had? You've probably already had pre-orders. Yeah.
It's been a wild ride. So when we first saw the video of the mock-up of what this was going to be like, and they showed the folks in the apartment, and they casually just kind of removed some stuff, and all of a sudden it becomes a gaming computer, and I mean, while that's not necessarily what we're marketing it as, it's really what a lot of folks are using it for. I was blown away. So I knew that to get this up to spec for Linux there's going to be some work involved, and the engineers have done tremendous work to make sure that we're in a good place for that. There was some polish that needed to happen, but while again, I got to be clear, we don't technically push this as a gaming computer. I do have 2 terabytes of games on this.
Yes.
So, so I do use it routine. So yeah.
So how many times have you put in the NVIDIA GPU and swapped things out?
So just one point of correction: we don't. It's a dual AMD, so it's AMD.
Oh yeah.
But that being said, we have had a lot of folks asking when that's going to happen. I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know how that's going to land. But we are hearing the community. We take that feedback seriously, and we roll it around and look at what's possible. But we definitely heard that. But we are able to keep the BGPU in a suspend state
Okay.
So it's not draining battery until you've actually woke it up. So you said, hey, DRI Prime 1 game, basically the game you want to run, you pop that in the launch box, Bob's your uncle, you're good to go. Right. So
Nice.
that's what's great. And then when you're out of the game, you've exited the game, regardless of whether you force quit it or you've decided to do it another way, that game has stopped using it. I have a script that you can run to actually verify that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll tab out and be like, is it still draining battery? Oh no, it went to suspend. Yay, okay, cool.
Well, here at Destination Linux, we are huge fans of AMD
Awesome.
because they know open source drivers.
That's right.
And we got those excellent Mesa stack and all the good things. And we were so happy about the announcement for this one because of the size of the screen. I'm visually impaired, so I needed that bigger screen. And this is going to be my next laptop I buy.
So speaking of that, to that front, I wear bifocals. I mean, they're lineless.
Yeah.
My vision is adjusting as I get older, and
Yes.
so big screens matter to me. At home, I tend to connect to bigger screens than this.
Yeah.
I like big screens, and with our ports, it's easy to do. Just got set up a couple digital ports, and you're all set. So yeah, the big screen was definitely a big win for us, and it's also a higher refresh rate. So
Yeah, is it 140 or
let's pull it up.
160? 165.
I will tell you, we are at 165.
Okay.
And I've done, I had it scaled about, I think, 125 right now.
Nice.
That's mostly for the folks that aren't, lean, that want smaller.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I tend to run it at 200 fractional scaling. Don't judge me, but that's what I do. So,
Same here.
so.
Oh, so is there anything that you can tell us that's coming down the pipeline, or do you have to be,
There's always stuff happening.
Yeah.
Always busy. There's usually a split effort of keeping up with whatever the latest and greatest is, but there's also making sure that we are putting the spit polish on our existing components, our existing BIOS. I hear you, 1210 folks. I know it's coming. Trust me, it's a focus. But making sure that we're in a good place on that. So, but we also have to make sure that we don't lose focus of the products and things that are out there for our existing customers, and making sure that everyone is comfortable with that.
Oh.
Yeah, but we do have things coming. There's many things happening. It's kind of very Magic 8 Ball at this point.
You guys are doing such wonderful thing. You literally have transformed the Linux ecosystem on laptops. We
really try. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of amazing companies out there.
Yeah, there are.
And my hat's off to them, because in my opinion, they set the groundwork that made this possible. And I honor them. I do. I have a lot of honor for them. So, but we are at an exciting time, that we're at a time where ourselves and other companies are in a position where we have brand new hardware right out of the box working on Linux. It's just a couple of years ago, that was, more than a couple, probably more like 10. That was impossible. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I was running 2.4 and 2.6, and we ran stuff that was super, super old. So, yeah.
Yeah, sustainability, modularity, upgradability. I mean, those are just so important for the future of not just Linux, but the world, and keeping computers out of the landfill. And that's one of the special things about Framework that you guys are doing.
Thank you. Yeah, and on that note, with our 13-inch, we do want people to use that main board as long as they can, and when they're ready to upgrade, put it in a 3D base or whatever.
Yeah,
make a media server.
I know. I just saw someone who made a Steam Deck out of one of the main boards. Right. Yeah.
I want one. Really.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so cool.
So thank you so much, Matt.
Matt, we really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you. Wait, hang on.
There it goes. We have it. Oh, he told me he was going to do it.
Reminiscent of another show. I'll tell you guys about it later. Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. So thank you so much, Matt Hartley, for talking with us.
So good to see all you guys in person.
Yeah. It's just amazing. The SCaLE is the place where our Linux family comes together.
Right, exactly. I'm going to make an attempt to be at Linux Fest Northwest. I think that is happening.
Nice.
I live in the area, so it's kind of a given.
Yeah.
So we'll see you there. But yeah, I'm going to be trying to be at more events.
Oh, awesome. Can't wait to talk to you further. We're going to do another big interview with Matt Hartley on Destination Linux. So.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Love
everybody.
you.
Oh, thank you.
If you pick up a Framework 16 with a GPU option, you're going to want to get some gaming on. So our game this week will help you do just that. The game is called Last Epoch, and it's an RPG with 83,000 mostly positive reviews. And the game on Steam describes itself like this. Last Epoch combines time travel, exciting dungeon crawling, engrossing character customization, and endless replayability to create an action RPG for veterans and newcomers alike. Travel through the world of Atera's past and face dark empires, wrathful gods, and untouched wilds to find a way to save time itself from the void. Dun dun dun. So the first thought, actually, when viewing one of the cinematics for the Last Epoch, was that this game looks like a cross between Diablo, but more complex, like Path to Exile.
Nice.
And it turns out that people that reviewed this game said the same thing. So as I was watching the cinematic, I was thinking this, and then everyone in the comments was saying that, and that it's exactly true. So if you like a fun and immersive ARPG that is visually stunning, has great spell effects, easy and in-depth character customization, and beautifully rendered monsters, you will like this game. And The Last Epoch works on our Linux Penguins out of the box and can be had for $34.99 on Steam.
Nice.
Very nice.
Looks also, like really it's funny because this game looks pretty cool. And also it said 77% of 83,000 are positive reviews. So that's a pretty good number.
Yeah, that's a really good number.
And also, when you first introduced this topic, Jill, I thought that Ryan would have suggested a game as a joke and say, like, if you're going to pick up a Framework 16 with a GPU option, you're going to want to play this game, and it's some like ridiculous pixel thing that has no need for that whatsoever.
That's usually
and then
what he does. Yes.
Exactly. And then I looked it up and I saw, oh, this is actually legit. Okay, you would need a good GPU for that. Okay, cool.
He actually didn't troll.
I'm surprised a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
this is like a whole new you. Like you like Crocs. You make a game that's a good choice. I mean, what is happening?
I'm turning a new corner, Michael. You know,
right around the corner.
Resolutions were really strong, and I can't find the corner usually because I have terrible navigation capabilities. But I finally found it.
In a circle. Imagine this guy in a roundabout. There's no chance.
Yeah, there's no chance. Yeah.
So our awesome community hangs out in Discord, but not everyone wants to install the full Discord app on their computer. So our software spotlight this week is Dissent. Dissent is a tiny Discord app that keeps the chat features first and foremost. It's simple, lightweight, and out of your way. And some of its cool features are, and one of my favorites is that text chat has complete markdown and custom emoji support.
Markdown's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I'd love to use it. Does Markdown work in regular Discord? I don't think so.
It does, but not in
advanced.
Like there's not full Markdown spec, but a lot of it does, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are guild folders and channel categories. It's got a tabbed chat interface, quick switcher for channels and servers, image and file uploads, previews, and downloads, just like classic Discord. User theming via custom CSS, that's a nice feature.
Mm-hmm.
And partial thread forum support, partial message reaction support, and partial AI summary support, which is actually provided by Discord. But you won't be able to use voice or video features, but everything else about Dissent is awesome. If you just want the chat and you just want to talk to your friends, this is an excellent option, and it runs really fast.
What got me on this was the theming, because you know how big I am on theming, and
you're
also
like super into theming. You customize
like we know he wants defaults.
Yeah,
actually,
like gibbets for my Crocs.
At this point, I don't know what this episode is. This is like a Twilight Zone episode, so it's possible that you now are going to customize themes everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, it said CSS, so let's be honest. Like if it was Python
that's a good point.
Or something
you're
else,
not doing that.
Yeah, I'm sending this to you and being like, Michael, can you make me a Crocs theme for my Dissent? So that
you want a bunch of random holes everywhere? Is that what?
Yeah, exactly.
But this is pretty cool idea. And also I like the name. It's kind of funny. The name Discord is also a funny name for a talking app. Because for those who don't know, the word Discord means an argument. Mm-hmm. And Dissent is also kind of like, like an argument. Like, it's funny.
Bad argument?
Discord means an argument. I thought you were dissing a cord, because we're gone wireless. So that really helps, Michael. Thanks for explaining that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Discord, actually the term also refers to like a wire vibrating. So that's...
there you go, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that one. All right. Well, let's do the tip of the week. Consider recovering and deleting old accounts on the web. Are you doing that right now? Well, as more and more people's information is getting compromised, thanks to the security of the lack of security of proprietary and closed source software.
Yeah.
And the zero laws in the U.S. about data retention, and the fantastic attitudes of all these companies who care so much about your data and don't have any ability. Like, there's no chance anybody would leak.
Oh, they care about it because they say it all the time about how.
Oh yeah, they care about the privacy, and they never take your data and sell it, and they never. They always make sure is the utmost respect to your privacy. They don't have terrible passwords written on pieces of paper on their monitor. And all of this stuff is sadly not true. They don't do that. There is a good chance some of your very old accounts that you have forgotten about might be compromised. And there's a good chance that your current accounts are compromised too. Anyway, there's a website called Have I Been Pwned? PWNED. And this is a fantastic website. It's also used by a lot of people for there's some extensions that you can install that will search through the database of Have I Been Pwned and that sort of thing. And we've covered this before on prior episodes, but the tip of the week this week is not just to use your current email address, but your old forgotten ones as well. Or in my case, I have way too many emails, and that would take a long time.
I couldn't imagine how many.
Yes, that would be ridiculous. Yeah. Sometimes I actually have old emails that I know that I don't care if it gets leaked because it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
But chances are you may have signed up for stuff back in the day, like Ryan does for HelloKitty.com.
Love those sites, HelloKitty.com. So much fun.
No, and also apparently now Crocs.com. And these sites might have lack security. I mean, I'm not sure about those, Crocs or Hello Kitty, who knows? But other examples might be there where additional information when you were less privacy focused could be out there, such as addresses or last names or usernames or passwords, or if for case of like 23andMe, your DNA. Fantastic. So make sure to take some time, do some routine privacy cleanup to help mitigate these threats as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And also, that seemed like a very dystopian take on this particular topic, and it is. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think this is interesting because what they're finding is sometimes these really old accounts that you haven't thought about in a while, you were using some of the same passwords. People who aren't rotating their passwords using a password manager, they're using, even though it was 10 years ago, they're still using that same password today. So maybe you have a clever password like Hello Kitty loves Crocs. That would be a really
super
clever,
good password.
Yeah, super good password. So but you still use it from 10 years ago. So you got this old account. You're like, I don't care. They compromised my Yahoo account because really, why are you still using Yahoo? I mean, at this point, really.
Good point. That's like hot now.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like you may use that same password. They're compromising that, but they're finding when they compromise these sites that people have forgotten about, that they're using the same passwords and they're using it against the new stuff that they're on. So if you're not rotating your passwords, that's one thing. Another thing is just for your privacy overall of, being more of a ghost online and getting rid of some of these old posts and forums and user IDs and different things like that. So you can minimize your identity that's out there online.
That's a good point. Yep. That's a good point. Also, just a quick story that I was having a conversation with my mom, and it was actually really good because my mom was she was basically talking about she was signing up for something that didn't really matter. She was just doing it to kind of get rid of it. And she said, I know I shouldn't have used this password, but I just did it because I don't really care and it doesn't blah, blah. And it was funny because I realized at that moment, I have taught her that she should care about the passwords.
That's a step.
Awesome.
That is a positive step. And now I just, get her to use the password manager.
One positive step in a pair of Crocs,
Yeah.
I mean, I have actually gone in and changed the stuff for her, on a lot of these things, like all the important stuff. So it's only like things like that, like, whatever. Well, I don't remember what it was. So I don't really like, it's more of like, like things that are like banks or email, all that sort of stuff. I went in and changed it all myself and put it in the password manager. And that could be another tip for, going along with that. So
there you go. All right. Well, if you want to meet Michael and me in person, you need to be at the Red Hat Summit May 6th through the 9th in Denver, Colorado, because we're going to be there.
And if you're wondering what in addition to meeting us, like what is the value you could tell the managers at your work to justify, you just tell them that we are $2 trillion value that we established last week. So go check it out. And you can tell them like, hey, here's a document from Red Hat that says here's a reason to go to Red Hat Summit. And then you can add on to that document. Michael and Ryan will be there from Destination Linux. There,
and we'll be there in our Crocs, because you're walking around a conference, you want a comfy shoe, and there's nothing more comfy than a Croc. So
what is wrong with you?
So come join us in Denver, Colorado. And a big thank you to each and every one of you for supporting us by watching or listening. However you do it, we love your faces. And you love these interviews like this. We're going to have Framework on, by the way, again, to kind of show off some more stuff here in the future. But if you want more content from people like Framework, it's all because of you. It's all because of your support. That's why they care about us. Otherwise, we'd be like, hey, we're from Destination Linux. And we're like, who? What? We don't care. But they do care because you listen, watch, and give thumbs up and subscribe and do all that cool stuff. And we appreciate you. Even the Croc wearers, especially the Croc wearers.
Yeah.
That's now, apparently, especially the Croc wearers.
We enjoyed when our viewers came up with Crocs at our booth at SCaLE. So that was cool.
They helped change my mind. See, I can be molded. I could be my mind could be changed on things, Michael. You say I'm very valuable. I'm not.
Yeah,
you can teach this old dog new tricks.
I like how flexible you are with this topic of like, no, never, 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 never try it. Okay.
Yeah, you're very comfy.
I guess so. I mean, I have never used actual Crocs, so I don't know.
You're not in the club.
Well, if you want to join a different club, people, you can become a patron of this show, and you can get all sorts of cool perks, like being able to watch this show live by going to tuxdigital.com/membership. And in addition to watching live, that's just one of the cool perks. You can also join us in the patron-only post show that happens every week after the show. So go to tuxdigital.com/membership to sign up. And if you would like to support the shows in other way, you can go to tuxdigital.com/store, where there is new swag there. We have the stuff that we have before. We also have some new stuff. So go check it out. tuxdigital.com/store, especially the Destination Linux Retro Vibes collection. Yeah. Really cool. Check it out. tuxdigital.com/store.
And make sure to check out all the amazing shows here on Tux Digital. That's right. We have a whole network of shows to fill your entire week with awesome geeky goodness. Check out the DOS Geek channel with our very own Ryan, who reviews awesome tech, discusses ways to keep your privacy intact online, and geeks out on all things open source and Linux.
Hold on a second. Are you going to be doing a Crocs video on your channel?
I'm totally going to do a Crocs
You should,
video. I'm going to do a review on Crocs. Yeah.
Yes. And everyone head to tuxdigital.com and subscribe to all our great shows. And if there's 5 thumbs up, do 5 thumbs up. If there's 5 stars, do 5 stars, please. And don't forget to leave a rating on your favorite app so others can discover the power of open source and keep those penguins marching in the full Monty of Linux and open source awesome sauce. Everybody, have a great week. And remember that the journey itself is just as important as the destination.
Yes. Croc on, everyone. Croc on.
Croc on. What is happening? Okay. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
What is Michael's so lost.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
We're confused. What happened to Ryan?